So America has completely lost their fucking mind. They are openly talking about potentially nuking Iran. And to that, Pakistan is saying, I am re-entering the chat. Fresh off of their stint with India where they played will they, won't they with nuclear bombs, they want Israel to know, if you try it, you will be tried. If it goes up, it's stuck. And I'm glad. It's so clear who the bullies are in this world. It is so fucking clear who the bullies are in this world. America and Israel are waging religious wars, full stop. Don't believe me? Let me read you a text sent by Mike Huckabee to Donald Trump. And he is an ambassador in America. He even ran for president once, talked mad shit on Trump then, but like all of them who did, he's now on his knees groveling in front of Trump. Here we go. Mr. President, God spared you in Butler, Pennsylvania to be the most consequential president in a century, maybe ever. This decision on your shoulders, I would not want to be made by anyone else. You have many voices speaking to you, sir, but there is only one voice that matters. His voice. Y'all hearing this, right? Okay, his voice. I am your appointed servant in this land, and am available for you, but I do not try to get in your presence often because I trust your instincts. I am your appointed servant in this land? Motherfucker, do you not swear an oath to the Constitution or something? Or do you just have to attend a Trump Diddy party and get railroaded and that's how you're in? I trust your instincts. No president in my lifetime has been in a position like yours. Not since Truman in 1945. Truman dropped the bombs on Japan, the nukes on Japan, after Japan surrendered, because America wanted to see what kind of a boom it would be. Look that up. I don't reach out to persuade you, only to encourage you. I believe you will hear from heaven, and that voice is far more important than mine or anyone else's.
He's a paranoid schizophrenic.
You sent me to Israel to be your eyes, ears, and voice, and to make sure our flag flies above our embassy, the one they moved into Palestinian territory. My job is to be the last one to leave. I will not abandon this post. Our flag will not come down. You did not seek this moment sought you. It is my honor to serve you, Mike Huckabee.
That's the gayest shit I ever heard.
We're fucked. We are fucked. These are the people who are in charge of America. We are so colossally fucked. Israel is openly planning to nuke Iran with the help of America, or America is just going to do it for them. Either way, they're acting in unison. They are two entities, but one in real life. They're separated by waters and by continents, but they are one fucking thing in real life. That much is clear, because this motherfucker, Mike Huckabee, doesn't say a word about the American people. He's just all God and Trump. Okay. So, to this fucking crazy news, and to Israel openly talking about saying they're going to be taking out Iran's supreme leader, Pakistan entered the chat and said, don't even think about it. Do not think about nuking Iran, because if you do, we will fire right back. Now, all of these reports are alleged. Okay, we don't know for sure if Pakistan is in it or not, or if people are starting rumors just to scare America, like, don't bomb me. Like, if Iran is just saying, like, don't fucking nuke us, and trying to come up with some sort of threat, because Iran doesn't have a nuclear bomb. And we know Iran doesn't have a nuclear bomb because international agencies have been allowed for years to go in and check Iran's nuclear facilities, and they have always confirmed that they are only using that shit to power their grid. Barack Obama famously signed them into the Iran deal with a bunch of other nations around the world, and Iran was complying. But out of nowhere, an Argentinian with questionable motives has been tongue-twisting a report that's come out that says that maybe for sure, not really, but could be possibly on some level, if you look at it this way, maybe they could have a way to make this into a bomb. And Israel's like, threat level midnight. We gotta fucking bomb them. We gotta do an attack right now. It's not defensive. It's going to be preventative. AKA, I'm going to bomb a sovereign country even though it's fucking illegal because I'm Israel, and if you try to do anything to me, America will come running. Obviously, Pakistan's getting in the race. It's getting in the mix. I think a lot of countries need to get in the mix, because we this can't be real life. This cannot be how we continue to exist, where Israel can just go into any fucking country it wants in the Middle East and railroad them. We have seen what they've done when it comes to Iraq. If you guys don't remember, Benjamin Netanyahu was all over the States without the invitation of the president, talking about, oh, we need to bomb them. Look at this little chart I have. It's a little bomb circle, and oh my God, they're getting so close. I'm not joking. He went there with a fucking whiteboard, drew a little bomb, and was like, oh my God, this is where they are and this is where they might be. Are you fucking kidding me? Prop central with these motherfuckers. And Americans just lapping it up. The only difference this time is that you've already played this out for us before. You talk that shit about weapons of mass destruction. We found out none were there. You have a population of American soldiers who are PTSD ridden, who cannot get any care from your vet's health, whatever, because you and Elon Musk doged that shit to death. And now you're just like, send me more of your sons. Send me more of your blacks and poor whites and send them all there. You know Jared's not headed there. You know Mike Huckabee's fat ass is not going to see not one fucking moment of war, although he's been Ozempic'd to death, so he looks like somebody completely different. Lindsey Graham, that butterfly motherfucker, he's not going to be there. If y'all don't know who Lindsey Graham is, he is a man who sex workers have confirmed has ladybugs in his cheeks, okay? As in he was on his stomach looking for some backdoor play, and horrified sex workers were like, nigga, what the fuck is that I'm looking at? Warts and shit all over his cheeks, all up inside his cheeks, and he just looked back at them and said, those are just my ladybugs. Yeah, that motherfucker wants to send your kids off to war. And Americans, I hope you're not going to be so fucking stupid as if to fall for it this time, okay? There were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and you guys went there and fucking murdered 10% of their population. America told Gaddafi, get rid of your nuclear weapons and then it'll all be peace, and then they sodomized him to death. Sodomized him to death with a fucking bayonet. And now they're telling Iran, don't get nukes. Why wouldn't Iran get nukes? Only a fucking idiot would not get nukes at this point, having a neighbor like Israel. Israel always talking about, oh, there's some sort of existential threat. There's some sort of existential threat. They are the real existential threat to every fucking country in the Middle East. Iran and America used to be close. You want to know how close? Iran is the only country outside of, I think, the IMF and America to have a mint, a $20 mint. That is the plate that lets you print American money. Iran had that. But then Israel joins the conversation and suddenly everybody is an enemy. Everyone in the Middle East is an enemy. Why? Because they won't lay down and accept that Israel gets to be the big bully in town. Because if Israel wants part of Syria, they want the Golan Heights, yeah, go ahead, take it. What the fuck do you mean? If they want to put all Gazans into a fucking kennel where you can't send a goddamn Snickers bar to them if you wanted to because Israel would have to approve it, then fine, it's okay. If you want to fuck up Lebanon, then fine. It's okay. What are we saying right now? So this is how it's going to end, I guess, right? With Donald fucking Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu just gambling the lives of billions of people away on a religious war. This is something that Israel has been planning for decades, okay? A former commander of NATO's forces wrote a book talking about how right after 9/11, and this has been confirmed by who's that famous economist? I'll put his name on the screen. But this has been confirmed by a bunch of people.
I have always been struck by what Wesley Clark told us many, many years ago about his visit to the Pentagon in September 2001. 7 wars in 5 countries, in 5 years, excuse me. That list came from Israel. Of course, Paul Wolfowitz and Doug Feith and others are part of this strong U.S.-Israel right-wing alliance. And the 7 wars, Lebanon, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Sudan, Somalia, Libya. We've done the list. Netanyahu's had 6 out of 7 so far, and he's gunning for the 7th.
Coincidence? Only if you're a fucking moron. And now Iran is left. Okay? They talk about how Iran is like, oh my God, they're always saying death to America and death to Israel. What the fuck do you want them to do? Send you flowers? You are terrorists. What about what Israel says? What about their fucking weird-ass Likud charter? What about the fucking fact that they're talking about decapitating the head of the octopus? Is that supposed to be casual language when they're referring to Iran? Because that's the head of the octopus, according to them. Because they have the nerve to fund Hezbollah and Hamas. And they have been trying to tie them into ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. Hezbollah and Hamas are different. These groups have come up out of resistance, okay? Hamas fighters are a completely predictable and natural response to being corralled behind a wall and a desert, crowd in between a wall, a desert, and the ocean, where you're not even allowed to go fishing for your family if you wanted to on your own territorial waters because some roided up Israeli IDF soldier will shoot you from far. What do you think people are going to do? What would you do? What would you do? Obviously, you would resist. Anybody would. It's not only a natural reaction. It is sanctioned under international law that you have the right to resist your occupiers. But they have convinced the world that resistance to their tyranny, to their terrorism, is somehow terrorism itself. And with that excuse, with that playbook, they have been able to kill millions of fucking people. And now they want to do it again. And it cost America trillions. It cost Canada tons of money. And honestly, we are not in the same place that we were before. When they started those wars, before I was a kid and the world was fucking different. Gas was 50 cents. This is not the same world. People are already unhappy with our lives. In Toronto, you cannot find a fucking place to live to save your own goddamn life. We have a homelessness crisis. There's still no fucking water in Michigan. America just had the biggest protest in their entire history, the No Kings protest, where they were making it known that they don't fuck with Donald Trump. Now imagine seeing all of our unrest. Iran said that they were going to come over here and liberate us with bombs. Pretty fucking unthinkable, right? Yeah, but somehow we have been conditioned to think it's not unthinkable for us to do it to them. Because they're on TV, Piers Morgan talking about how amazing the pager strikes were in Iran. Let one fucking pager go off in Israel and that bitch would be crying for a week on TV. But we were applauding the fact that pagers went off in public areas and fruit stands and markets and homes where people got blown to bits with their family and casual civilians all around them. Meanwhile, if you touch the hair on an Israeli soldier's head, we will have to hear about his entire history on our news shows, talking about this is who he was and he was engaged to be engaged and blah, 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 blah. This dehumanization campaign is going to fail this time. And whoever joins this fucking Titanic of a ship that is headed off to war is going to go down with it. Mark my words. Because this is not the same place. This is not the same world it was before. America is no longer the only fucking global superpower. They need to be stopped. If a nuclear deterrent is keeping North Korea safe, why wouldn't Iran want one? If a nuclear deterrent is keeping China safe from America, why wouldn't Iran want one? Look at what happened to Ukraine. America told them to get rid of their fucking nukes. And now Russia and Putin have no beef going in there and taking what they want. You think they'd be able to if Ukraine had nukes? No. Mutually assured destruction. That's the whole idea. If I have a nuke and you have a nuke, we're not going to try each other because we have the ability to wipe out both our nations. I'll strike you, and then as a last act before your entire country dies, you'll strike me, and then both countries are gone. That's the whole idea of this deterrent. But Israel is the only country that has nukes. It's an open secret, but does not comply with any of the fucking international bodies out there that monitor this stuff, that come and check on your nukes. How many do you have? How are you enriching them? What are you doing with them? There are agencies that do that. And Israel is the only country in the world that fucking has an arsenal of nukes, and it just doesn't feel like they need to expose any of that information to the regulatory bodies. And now that Iran is successfully striking in Tel Aviv, even though there's a huge media suppression campaign over there where you can go to jail if you try to showcase what damage is happening in Israel, we see them running underground into bunkers underneath what? Hospitals.
Oh my God, the call's coming from inside the house.
Yeah, apparently all of their important military bases are buried right underneath Tel Aviv. Sounds like human shielding to me. Maybe Israel needs to be liberated. Iran apparently has their shit up in the mountains. Maybe they need to go in there and teach Israel a lesson, not to endanger your people. Oh my God, they're so scared. Maybe they need to be liberated. Maybe Trump needs to be overthrown by the Iranians. I don't know. This is the fucking logic that we're dealing with. Maybe some Muslim country can come into Ontario and say, hey, I know Doug Ford's not doing you right. Why don't I just, fucking Allahu Akbar him out of there? Is that a normal thing to even consider? No, because countries are sovereign. And when you continue to degrade that fact, when you continue to completely ignore that fact, you cannot be surprised when you find attacks happening in your own home. This is why Hassan Abi said that America deserved 9/11. You cannot continue to fucking go around the world and blow shit up and then act like nothing like that can come home to you. You give people nothing to live for, no future to hope for. You are creating desperate people, 90 million of them. You think that's not going to have a consequence? You think that every country in the Middle East is not watching what's happening here and thinking to themselves, if they are allowed to do this to Iran, that we're next? Why wouldn't you be next? These guys are allowed to put out a fucking list and say that I want to attack these countries, and apparently it just happens. Anyhow, we're going to wrap it here. More to come. Subscribe if you haven't. Bread in Captivity, out.